I've tried most of the form builders out there or form platforms and still feel like that you're missing one or more features that you wish that you had, then you are in the right place. I'm going to review a form builder today and show you around behind the scenes inside of the app, which is MakeForms. Hi, I'm Anil from marketingautomationfocus.com. Let's dive into it. I'm going to show you their homepage, which is makeforms.io, and I'm going to show you their features as listed on their website, and then also their pricing as of this recording. And then I'm going to take you inside of my own account of MakeForms and show you how it's laid out, how easy it is in terms of the user interface. I'll comment on what things I think they could or should improve on. And also, I'll touch on a form that I have kind of built halfway through, or maybe 80-90% done, but it's fairly complex calculator type form that I played around with, and I'll show you that. So I'm not going to go into big uh, deep dive into every single features or kind of tutorial or anything. This is mostly it's a first look overview review. So let's take a look at this. So on their makeforms.io website, they say the most powerful and secure form builder yet. And I think they may be right when I show you the feature sets and their capabilities really quick. So let's scroll down as to how their homepage looks like. And they talk about security for everyone, not just enterprise. So all of their plans have this security features. You can create many forms and you can do one at a time, like a card form, and you can do a step that the form has several steps, more than one steps, like next, previous, next, that kind of thing, as you can see. And then if you build one form in one single view, then it's called all at once form. Okay. And they also have a mobile and email verification, so you can eliminate fake leads. People put in whatever email address and just basically spam your form with fake email addresses when they submit their form. So you can see that they have that feature. You can customize to your heart content, and branding and fonts you can customize. You can have custom domain, again based on the plan that you have, uh, and they show you you can build, design, and then you can actually let's just go through this. You publish, and you collect the data, and you organize the data on the platform. Okay, so we'll just scroll down. One form, many sources. You can have many sources. You can track them. They have various integrations available, native integrations available. They also have webhooks. So if you don't find an integration that you need, then you can use their webhook feature or integration. Okay, and you can view your data in various formats. And you can get some insights on the data as well. Okay, and you can create more than one workspace so that you can organize and manage your forms based on your needs. Okay, you can also create folders to organize your forms that you create. Then they have a feature called workflow and triggers. So what that does is that it's like a visual builder for automation. So if you have a couple of forms or even just one form, and you want to add the reviewers or approvers to the form, so you can build a workflow and select your form and then visually builder, which is like a drag and drop visual builder. You can connect those steps of your workflow. For example, if you're um, submitting, if you're getting some forms that submitting some sort of application and someone needs to review it and someone needs to approve it, and those kinds of automation you can build in using workflow in MakeForms, so that it's all automated after the submission of the form for the next steps of, like I mentioned. And so that's pretty neat feature that they have. And you can also embed the actually it's their own feature. I don't think it's an embedding, but if you use their email to send out your forms that you have built, then the forms can be actually filled within the email and submitted as well. So users don't have to go click a link in an email or on the website or whatever. But if you're sending emails with link to the forms, and you want to, let's say you're doing some surveys, then you can actually use MakeForms email service to send the form that you have designed and published, and that would be fillable and that can be submitted right within that email. So the users or the um, customers or clients, they receive this email and they don't need to go off the email, basically their email client, and you can submit that. So that's on that. Let's just go ahead and click some. Let's go look at the pricing now. Okay, so now we are on pricing plans, and you can see that they have Essentials, Pro, Agency, and then Enterprise. These are the plans that they have. They also have free plan, by the way. And Essentials plan is $29 per month as of this recording, $69 per month for Pro, and the Agency is $149 per month. And enterprise is a custom plan, so it depends what that custom plan look like to get the pricing. And so for that, you need to contact them. Now, there's a detailed comparison, and basically, you can sign up for a free plan, and it's limited, obviously, because it's free, and with limited features. There's certain features that are not available in free plan, which is mobile verification. Drag and drop editor is not included. Oh, I'm sorry. Drag and drop is included in free. Form report is not included. Step forms are not included. Calculated fields are not included, meaning you can't build a calculator type form. You can't export CSV data. You can't remove MakeForms branding, field logic, email verification, and you don't have support when you have free plan. So it sounds like that pretty much every feature is included if you sign up for their lowest paid plan, which is at the time of this recording is $29 per month, which I think is fairly decent. Again, it depends on your need. Uh, and except that for the support, their first two paid plans are the support is email support. So it's based on just email support, which is I think is fairly good. But if you want the email and live chat type of support, then you need to go for agency plan. And again, if you need that level of service, I guess, but that's something that you can decide based on your need. And enterprise, again, obviously it has every feature included, and it can be customized based on your needs. So that's that. Let's now go over to my inside of my MakeForms app. inside my MakeForms account, and as you can see, the layout of the app is very clean, very simple, with menus on the left sidebar. And when you log in, the onboarding was really smooth, very good, in my opinion. And as you can see, the top left shows the workspace name and the username, which in this case is me. And MAF is the workspace that I created. It automatically creates the first workspace, which it just names it personal workspace or something. So I just created another one called MAF. So now the dashboard, typically, I think the dashboard or home, as you can see, is my forms. So if you don't have any form, that's what it's going to show here with no forms here. And on the sidebar from the top to bottom is workspace or workspaces, my forms, campaigns, export history, fonts, domains, members, settings, workflows, vault. And then down in the bottom left, they have the account information. Now, this one doesn't need to be persistent. So make it, if I minimize that, but as soon as I go to different sections on the sidebar, let's say I go to workspaces, then the bottom left shows my account information. So I think that's a little bit of annoyance there, and it should not be persistent if it needs to exist here. Otherwise, it should actually be hidden uh, from or underneath accounts section, some sort of accounts which has, let's say, settings and profile or everything else. So maybe it needs to be under settings, under billing, or subscription or something like that. Okay. So that's what I think that needs to be about that. And under workspaces, like as you can see, as I mentioned, I created personal workspace as part of onboarding, and then I created MAF. And I think the icon or the symbol for the workspace, it takes from the user's first name, first initial, or I'm not sure in this case if it's the initial from the last name, because in my case it's both A, and that's why there is A. And then it gives you an option to see if you can write from the workspace card, so to speak. You can click and you can manage your team. You can also switch workspaces. So if you are in a workspace, you can switch it to another one when you hover to that specific workspace card. And again, you can easily, very simple, you can just name it. I'm not going to create one now. And next one down is my forms. This is the form I was playing around with. I like the created on date format here, this sort of international format, so there's no confusion about the month and the date. I'll go into the form builder in a minute, so stay with me. Uh, Campaigns, I don't have any campaigns as yet. Export history, I don't have that. Fonts, I've not loaded any custom fonts, but this has that feature, so it's pretty good. Then if you need your own custom fonts in some cases, then you can add your font. For domains, you can add your own domain or custom domains. I have not uh, done that yet. Uh, for members, this is some kind of is kind of strange uh, section here, because if I click on settings, it's basically is the same page or section with the top menus here: profile, branding, captcha, plans, add-ons, integrations, invoices. And all it does, if I click on settings, which I'm not going to do right now because then it shows up my email information and something else that I don't want to show in this video. And so if I go to click on profile, that's what's going to happen. Which is the user profile, I believe. I have not added any users as yet. And for branding, I have for this workspace. So branding, I was just playing with it, and I just put actually a logo mark without the text. I just use my logo icon. And that looks pretty good. Favicon is also the file that I uploaded. So just to show that you can select specific fonts for heading, content, or label if you wanted to change them from default for this workspace. And then CAPTCHA options are there. Plans, again, they show you the plans, which I'm not going to show you here. And that's what I was saying, that under settings, we should have maybe members also listed on the top here as one of the menu items, and just get rid of members on the left sidebar and just keep the settings. And under settings, under plans or subscriptions or account or whatever you want to call, then we could have the account stats or account level under that, or at least make this on the left sidebar bottom, not make this persistent. And only if I want to check how many what's the usage of my account, the account stats. So that's what I would do. So anyways, and for let me quickly show you integrations. So they have about 15 or so total integrations. These are native integrations. For webhook, they don't list it here. So if you scroll down, they don't list it here. I would suggest to list webhooks when the category is all. Then webhook or everything should be included, obviously. So I don't know why it's not listed. So for webhook, they just have a different kind of a view here, and you can add webhook here. Okay. So another user kind of interface thing that I intuitively think that if I see this plus sign, like a folder sign, I'm not even sure if this is the right UI design or good UI design to have this. And if you have this, typically I would expect that this is clickable. So whether I click there or add webhook or have a button, but there's some UI inconsistencies in this app, as you can see. So, but then this is their first launch, as far as I know. So I am sure that they're going to polish this UI and user experience as they move forward and grow. So that's the hope and expectation. And so I just wanted to point that out. So in pretty much many places, and I'll show you as I go to other sections. And so I'm not going to show settings, and already talked about members. For workflows, this I was just playing with it. I created this workflow named test. I'm not sure why we have to see for one workflow. Why would I need to see inactive and active at the same time? So that's I don't know. I don't understand that. I would probably have this 0 inactive, 0 active, maybe on the top. Like it's the overall view or stat of how many workflows are inactive versus active, right? So under one specific workflow, this does not make any sense. And it just gives you some details that this workflow has 2 actions in it. And this status also, then this is not quite spelled right. It should be just one single word like this one, inactive. All right. And date seems to be fine based on, so I'm in the US, so this looks fine. And I think the time is off. This is not my local zone time. So I'm not sure what's going on with this one. this is some other zone time. So that needs to be fixed, I believe. And then they have this, so let me show you. If I go to, so I'm going to show you workflow since I'm here. Okay, so this one, it just kind of centers in this canvas or space here. And I just took this, um, just a simple selection of response, which you need to select a form, and then you could add approvers, reviewers. Response can only be just one, can't use multiple responses. That doesn't make any sense, at least in terms of this visual automation builder. I call it automation builder. Basically, that's what it is. And so uh, and then you would end the flow. So this is pretty interesting to me in terms of automation. So that looks like fairly decent for some basic automations that if you need that, then this is pretty good. And so now the only other thing that I think that is missing here is that I don't know how to go back. Okay. So there should be a back to the last view or page where I was, which is the workflow section. So it should be that or a high level menu on the top left or somewhere on the top where I can click to the dashboard or to home. Something along those lines, I think it would help. So right now, I don't know. I did happen to click the logo, which takes me to form, but then it opens up a new tab. So I think in this case, there is no need to open a new tab if I need to go back to home or dashboard. And especially when I'm clicking on uh, the logo in order to do that. So it's going to jump. Okay, so it jumped. Maybe in this case, it actually, I'm not sure if it opened a new tab because I'm in that full screen view. Um, it but I did notice when I was building forms and I wanted to get out, and on that form builder page, if I click the MakeForms logo icon, then it takes me to this view that you're seeing now, which is the My Forms view, home view, and it's actually opens in a new tab. Okay, so anyway, so that was about the workflow, and I already mentioned about workspaces and other simple high level features. But let's now go into the form builder. So over here, there's nice icons here for different things you can do once you create your form. So in this case, I could, if you use pencil, then it could uh, go into edit mode. But I haven't tried any of these icons yet. But it seems like I can just hover over on the list of form, which is in this case is just one. I just click on it, and let's see, it's gonna open up the editor. I would say that this is a bit slow. Going into editor should not take even this long. So my expectation would be like almost instantly. That's what I should do. Okay, so now we're inside of the form builder, and you can see on the top center we have menus. We are in build section or menu, and design is the next one, then sources, then result, then integrations, and then logic. So it's not that intuitive to me that what does that logic really mean at the end of that menu listing. And I understand that when you build, then you need to design and you can customize things and you can define your sources and then you look for results. Um, but then I don't know why would I need to look at results when I'm building, or at least not in this stage. I would probably have integrations listed first. So I'm just making those comments as I go. So other than that, I think this user interface is pretty neat. It has all the form elements, and if you star them, then they become your favorite ones, so that if you use some of them, most of the time you can star them to show up in your favorite um, elements. Okay, so that's pretty kind of neat. I think it would make things efficient. And then, as you can see, if I as I scroll down, the listing shows you the types of elements. It's almost like anything and everything. Can hardly I can hardly think of anything that might be missing. As a quick look here, almost nothing is missing here. Okay, so so now I know that this video is getting a little bit longer than I would prefer, but let me just quickly talk about a few more things here. So in while I was building this, I it's not so intuitive to me. If I wanted to keep these like a single choice element, and there are three of them here, like side by side. So I couldn't really tell. So if I'm clicking on this element, which is single choice element, I don't see how to stack all these three next to each other. I know that I can move them up or down, like this, um, and so it was pretty easy, extremely fast and simple to keep on building this form. There are a few things that were a little bit confusing in terms of whether you need like a heading type element, like for some of the text, even though it sounds like it's intuitive, like heading is heading, but I wasn't too sure. But maybe that's because I wasn't trying to think through what exactly I want this form to look like in terms of um, the headings or the sections or the for the basically element names is clear, but I had some text here which is actually um, which is paragraph text. So it just simply you put in a text as your form, which is not fillable element, which is text area would be the one if you needed someone to fill in with text. That's what you would use here. But anyways, other than that, I think I found it pretty intuitive. Um, so the only thing was that how do I kind of stack them really quick? It was I can't really, at least it's not it doesn't uh, it's not obvious. And then one thing that I would touch on, that this form uses a bunch of logics. So the logic is listed here. Now, one thing I found was, now I was following one of their demo video that was just actually came out today. It was pretty neat. So I just kind of watched that and build this form. And I actually added even more than one uh, form platform. So if I wanted to create this calculator or evaluator for more than one platform, so I can just list these uh, up front and have people select whichever platform they want to compare MakeForms to. So I haven't built the logic for this one, but I was just playing around. So I followed that video and I was able to create these. Now, one thing I'll mention right here is that once I created this one logic, I really wish that there was a duplicate feature here. So I would suggest that if they could have a duplicate for each logic. So if the logics are very similar, then I very quickly just simply uh, click the duplicate or clone, and then just rename really fast and change just one or two things inside for each of these logics. Now, if you want to go one step, if they could go one step further, that let me take you to the logic now. Remove myself here. Is I see that this conditional logic here has this, uh, all or any, which is nice, which is fine. It gives me a little bit more power. But when I saw this logic builder, I think I have seen some other platforms, not the form platforms. I don't remember, but I've seen some email platforms, automation platforms that they build logic slightly differently. When you add a rule, it could be and or it could be or. So when you're building a bunch of these rules, then you can do for each rule, you can have and or kind of set. So if they do that, I think it's going to be more, not only more powerful, but also more efficient. And and then we don't need to create kind of more siloed or separate sort of uh, logic, and adding rules would be more powerful with and or, and in fact, even if conditions don't match or match, what do you do? But if the framework for logic builder is like this, then it's okay, I think. But except that I would still strongly suggest and recommend to have and or logic within the logic builder, and so that it can be powerful and it can be more efficient. And so those are the few things that I think that there would be very useful. Um, and and so anyways, I haven't finished this form, but I just wanted to get a feel for. So if this platform can do this, this shows you fairly complex forms can be built with lots of logics, and I don't see any limit on logic. And um, maybe there is a need for even move these logics, like rearrange them, maybe not, but that's not really a priority. I think I'm sure there are a whole bunch of other things that this platform could develop and grow into and polish this even more. But as is, it looks fairly um, powerful, with the comments and suggestions that I made in this. So I hope this was helpful to you. And if going forward, I may do some specific use cases or other tutorials going deeper into form building tutorial of specific use case form for contact forms or other forms. Right now, I don't think they support login forms or registration forms that require a password field. So password field is the only one that's not available here. So if I needed a login or registration form, then I don't think I can use MakeForms. So that's one of the things that will make me go either use WordPress if I'm using WordPress or some other platform that supports password fields. But I believe that it's further down the road based on their roadmap. I don't remember their roadmap, so they are working on a whole bunch of other features that could be useful, I'm sure, depending on your use case. So that's all I got. Bye for now.